What's up, YouTube? Hope you're all doing well. We got a little bit of a late night special for you. I had my buddy Noe post about this Grixis Reanimator list, or this Grixis Unearthed Casey Jones list that Jerry Thompson had posted, I guess on Twitter or something like that. So I'll be sure to tag him when I post my social media stuff about playing this deck. But I took the original list and I made some adjustments that kind of, first off, fit my play style. So preferring like a good backup plan as opposed to being more all in, and then filter to cards that I've played before that I'm comfortable with and know had a lot of success with Dimir Oculus in Modern. So playing cards like Fatal Push over the Unholy Heats that Jerry originally had, Bitter Triumphs, Force Negations, Thought Seize, especially. These cards are like all in my wheelhouse. So decided to give this a shot for the evening. The really cool thing that I like about this deck is the backup plan when your unearths aren't functioning. Your backup plan is just like Casey Jones hardcast, Quantum Riddler hardcast, Thoughtseize, Force Negation, all that sort of stuff. Consign a memory for some main deck interaction. In the sideboard, we got 3 Mystical Dispute for the blue decks, an extra Force Negation for the unfair stuff, 2 Harbinger of the Seas, Kaito, Graveyard Trespasser for like Jeskai Blank, Boros Energy of the Flage decks, 2 Meltdown, 2 Fire Magic, 2 Fulminator Mage for Eldrazi and Amulet Titan, and a copy of Damping Sphere to help out with everything from like Titan to Tron to Eldrazi Ramp to Storm, all that good stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop into the league, see how we do, and hopefully we can take it down. Round number 1. Looks like we're on the play against Dragon Rage 35. Stands fine. We've got turn 1, Steam Vents. Probably not going to Faithless Looting. Wait until turn 2, see if we hit the land. Maybe I do want a Faithless Looting, actually. Just up my chances of hitting second land. If I hit second land, I probably just discard the Riddler and plan on persisting it turn 2. Is that what I want to do? Throw back like Bloodstain Mire, Riddler against Zoo. Maybe I don't need Unearth. Maybe I just want to go Unearth Riddler. The reason to discard the Unearth is like my stuff isn't going to be killed by combat damage, like hardly at all. So I don't really need to play for things dying and then getting Unearthed back. And if I'm able to keep these fetches around, Force Negation something, Persist Quantum Riddler, then I'm probably not getting into a spot where I need to, or where I'm not going to have like my graveyard full to say hard cast an Oculus later. Swamp, Persist Riddler, draw a card, go. See if opponent's got like a Scion here. They're just going to go for a Leyline Binding. Kavu. Okay. No good attacks. Casey Jones. I think I'd rather save that for next turn. I can get like a Thundering Falls here. If I could do something like get a Thundering Falls, discard the Polluted Delta to the Frog, then I can set up a pretty nice double draw next turn. Maybe even Casey Jones and draw 4. Fairy Time Reveler. Don't much want that one around. Attacking with both. What are you doing with this Kavu? Let me see what's on top of my library before I make any decisions on the block. I already used my one of Persist. What if I just block this Ragavan? Take 5 off of the Kavu, but I'm not like in getting burnt out range. Draw 2 for turn. Just land Casey. Draw 4. All right, it's kind of fun. I kind of just want to hold back. That's probably pretty bad. Like, what's worst case scenario attacking with the frog? They have like Bolt for Casey Jones, Leyline Binding for Quantum Riddler. Hit me for 5. I guess they like, all right, Flage Casey Jones, pretty good. Then I think I'm chump blocking with this Riddler now because I have Fatal Push to take out the Kavu, so I don't really need it. Just have to make sure that I respond to the Casey Jones trigger with Fatal Push because I don't want to lose that. Discard 3 at random. Attack him with our frog. Play out Oculus. Say go. All right, so opponent's going to fetch on their upkeep, thin it out a little bit. They've got the guaranteed Flage. I assume take out my manifest. Yep. All right. Let's find an answer to this Flage this turn. Just make things easy. Their Oculus isn't bad. So I just like discard. I just want to go straight to attacks and say, like, if you block the frog, I have quad discard. No. I think I'd rather jump the frog. That's pretty good. So we'll discard looting, discard force. I'll just discard the other frog. Play out our second Oculus. We'll hold up Fatal Push in case opponent has a Leyline Binding. But I didn't want to discard before the do they have consigned memory? Okay. I didn't want to discard before I attacked with the frog because if I had drawn into something that I couldn't use, I would rather throw it away and hold up Force plus Frog with the Oculus. And if I discarded for the extra damage before attacking, I wouldn't be able to hold both up. All right, well, I think I have to assume your last card is Lightning Bolt. I don't want to give you that free out. I just want to chill back with the Oculus. Nah. You want to attack. That, my friends, is why we attack. It's also a pretty good one. So I'll Fatal Push this before they go to combat, or like after they enter combat before they declare attacks. Force Negation, a Legend of Roku. Enter combat. Fatal Push the Kavu. Now, even if you have Stubborn Denial, I don't care. I can chump block the Kavu, attack for lethal on the way back. All right. Domain Zoo. I want Harbingers. I want a couple copies of Mystical Dispute. Trespassers, good into Flage. I don't know if I want Fulminator here. Like maybe on the play and not on the draw. Kaito's okay-ish, not great. Trim on some Force Negations. What did they show me that I'm particularly scared of? I can probably trim on Casey. Bad against Flage. You can't really attack into Kavu. And they have main deck consigned to memory. I don't want them to consign the draw trigger. I'm on the draw, so maybe I don't want both Harbingers. Maybe I'll go down like one Oculus because they showed Teferi in the main deck. They're probably bringing in like Mystical Dispute, and you really don't want to see multiple like unfair Oculuses or multiple fair Oculuses. You don't want to hard cast multiple Oculus because your graveyard's fairly limited. Picking up that Fatal Push means I'm just going to pass with Dark Slick Shores. They surveilled to the top, so I don't want to like Thoughtseize and them have a Scion, a Draco on top that I can't hit. So just take the Flage and figure out or take the Teferi, counter the Flage, or counter the Scion, figure out the Flage. Flage is now figured out. Just want to go Frog, pass. Nah, just Warp Riddler. Are they going to consign this? Surely not. Yeah, I was going to say, surely that's not where you want to spend your consign. And if they like Leyline bind this, I'm perfectly happy. It looks like they're just playing around Scion. Or words are tough. Not playing around Scion, playing around Harbinger. Yeah. Keep that. Just like push Kavu, play Frog this turn, and then I guess we can't play Frog. Just push Kavu, pass. I was going to say, if they didn't go for Flage this turn, I could just hard cast Riddler next turn. But now that Flage is down, I can Frog plus Graveyard Trespasser, the Flage. And then have Quantum Riddler next turn. Fair. Do get them down to 0 cards in hand. We've got Unearths. Discard. Discard. I was really hoping that was going to be the Unearth. That had been Black Source, Unearth. Would have been pretty hot. Had quite a few looks at it, but didn't always work out that way. Swap over to the regular view. Yep. I believe I've only got one Surveil land in this list. Yeah. And I've already used my basic swamp. So I am going to, on my upkeep, fetch and fatal push this Flage. Get my extra draw off the Riddler, get the Flage off the battlefield. Don't think that I want to Thoughtseize. But I don't mind unearthing a graveyard trespasser and playing an Oculus. Get Flage out of here. Get the eyeball down. Go. All right. Round number one. We're whirring and blowing and going. Yeah. Nice. Absolutely stomping Zoo. Round one is hot. We'll catch you back for round two and see if it goes just as smoothly. Round number two, we get to win another die roll, which is super sick. So we take those. Turn one, probably just a surveil land on one. Turn two, frog. Figure out what to do with there or do from there. We've got some sweet lines with like turn three, played third land, discard down to looting, unearth, cast looting, draw three if we warp our Riddler in. And we should be able to find something to unearth at that point. Spire Bluff Canal. When I see Spire Bluff Canal, I immediately think prowess. So I think I'm going to keep that. I think I'm going to go for frog on turn two into warp Riddler consign on turn three. It's pretty good roadblock if it is prowess. Ah, no, just affinity. Okay. So let's try our best to get some stuff going. I'm going to attack first. It's a little bit awkward because, like, I really don't want to discard the double unearth. Like, I don't really want to just throw away a couple really good cards. But obviously, I need to be very considerate of them just popping off and getting a Claws of Gix here, which kind of looks like what's happening. Or an Arcbound Ravager. If it is just... Is there any way I can present lethal here? I don't think so, right? Like I cycle this, draw two. Looting is draw three. Discard two. Yeah. I should have mathed that out a little bit more, but I also could have just played to hit consign to memory But they also might be mana constrained and not able to kill this Psychic Frog, which would be a big deal because they need 5 mana. They currently have 4. That would use up their entire turn. I would still have a Quantum Riddler in play. One card in hand. Like, I kind of think this is this like hit Arcbound Ravager or Engineered Explosives or die? Or they can kill the Quantum Riddler. So it's not death. They can sack 3 munitions tokens. They can no longer sack 3 munitions tokens. I think they just killed themselves. I think they had the line to sack enough munitions to kill off the frog and survive. And they just kind of got greedy with Krang and all this stuff that wasn't just shooting my frog down. Interesting. I say interesting because I'm still alive, but a bit of a misplay there from our opponent. All right, so we're up against Affinity, which means I do want to board out fairly heavily on the Unearth plan. It's just really, really difficult to keep like a threat around to get unearthed into like 3 Tormod scripts, whatever they're running now. Then a little bit awkward with this being Bitter Triumph and not Shieldred's Edict. Obviously worse against exactly Kappa Cannoneer. I'm a simple man. I see a meltdown and I keep. Play Scalding Tarn just to bluff like we have something. Ravenous Robots. All right, well, if they've got the Kappa as their last card, we're in quite a bit of trouble. If they don't have the Kappa, which is what it looks like, then we are Meltdown. Hope the last card's not Metallic Rebuke. Is that the right play? If they had Kappa, they could have cast it and didn't. They could have Krang. Like Kappa, Krang, Metallic Rebuke are the 3 things that I care about. If I melt down, I'm significantly weaker into Metallic Rebuke, but I do just get it out of hand. That makes me believe there's not a metallic rebuke. Love to see it. Ravenous Robots beats. All right. Well, that Shivan Reef could have been what was in hand. So I think I'm going to pass turn and go for the Bitter Triumph on their upkeep. Just in case the last card is a Metallic Rebuke. The old skateboard. Okay. Then I'll get the frog down here. Just plan on getting basic swamp off of one of these fetches. And then Casey Jones is a pretty decent insurance into a Blood Moon. All right. If they're not cracking Fiery Islet, then I believe that last card is a Kappa Cannoneer. Interesting. It's got to be a Kappa. Don't say, deck. That's also pretty good. Is there any reason that I want to see if there's any reason I want to discard Unearth? But I don't think so. I want to give myself the chance to potentially draw into like an Oculus and unearth it. Manufacturing's pretty good. Okay. Discard at random. Yep. Go ahead and flashback looting. Hit him with the frog first in case I draw Oculus, because I'd much rather play the thing that lets me close this game out sooner. In a world full of Kappa Cannoneers, I'd rather have the game over with. Yep. Seems good. Definitely makes the Unearth a little bit more awkward, so we're probably going to end up cycling that away pretty aggressively. See if opponent wants to trade off. Just blocking a frog. It's fine with me. Let's go ahead and cycle Unearth in case I hit Oculus or something. Oh, just pass back. We can force a negation a Claws of Gix. Force negation that for no other reason than it's the last card in hand and we just have lethal on board. No way of sacking manufacturing tokens. Got 9 exactly on board. And attack. Nice. Little 2040. Catch you back for round number 3. Round 3. Fortunately, we lose a die roll. No land 7, so pretty easy to ship this back. Oof. Throw that back as well. Not a bad 5. So I want to keep Scalding Tarn, Oculus, Unearth, Thought Seize. I might just throw back Fatal Push. Hope I'm not against a creature deck. If I am, I might have to Thought Seize myself, Unearth. Oh boy. That's like worst case scenario for my Thought Seize Unearth plan. Gonna try to kind of high roll and hit second land to be able to Thought Seize myself, Unearth the Oculus. I don't want you to be able to kill it if I get it down. That is a very, very awkward hand to see on our side. Land, please. It's Thoughtseize away the Harbinger so we can keep playing. Taking 5 here. They get to Violin, another Silvergill. Yeah, just roll on to game number 2. We'll take that one. Mold a 5. Gonna happen. Not gonna be too beat down about that. I think a reasonable 7-card hand, and we've got some amount of play. But at the same time, like a good Aether Vial hand out of them, and probably don't have much to go off of. I'm going to keep this. It's definitely a little bit weird, but I've got Consign on turn 1 for potential Aether Vial. If I hit a black source, then Frog on turn 2 is great. If I don't, I could just Warp Riddler. All right, opponent, please don't dismember me. If they do, it's like auto discard everything except the Quantum Riddler. Yep. See if they want to sack off their Lord to counter this. Nope. And I don't want them blocking here, so I'm going to get my Frog airborne. So we do just have them on a turn 2 clock, or 2-turn clock with some flying frogs. But I would really like to hit a black source and unearth this Casey Jones, which we do not get to. Would have been really, really nice to make sure we got another threat on board in case they have like Sink into Stupor here. Or Harbinger of the Tides, whatever it is. All right. So it looks like our opponent is no more. Let's discard Thoughtseize. Discard the other frog. Unearth Casey Jones. Just all right. Fair enough. Unearth Casey Jones just to get some more idea of what we want to keep, what we want to go down to. We have plenty to attack in for lethal. Now we are on the draw for game 3. Force of Negation, definitely no, but Mystical Dispute is a maybe on the draw. Like if they don't have Aether Vial, Mystical Dispute's not bad. Or Cavern of Souls, obviously, but I don't think I can really bank on my Merfolk opponent not having one of those. Though I know a lot of the times, like, Merfolk players will board out some number uh, say, Aether Vials in a matchup like this if you think your opponent's going to be able to deal with them pretty easily. All right, opponent's on a mold of 5. What am I playing around? I think like Tide Shaper plus counter would be awkward. Tidebinder's interesting. I kind of want to just take this Sink into Stupor with the expectation that once my Oculus gets down next turn, they're just not going to be able to get it off the board. We'll get basic Swamp to play around Harbinger. Earth Oculus. Go. Next turn we can unearth our other Oculus, and I think opponent's going to have a difficult time. Get our combat in. So Tidebinder, Mystical Dispute. They're probably going to be looking to to Mystical Dispute here. Maybe I want to. All right, I'm going to go for the bait. I'm going to go for the fetch here to see if they'll Tidebinder this fetch and let me just unearth, play around Mystical Dispute. Yeah, so they go for the bait. Which I'm more than happy for. Unearth the Oculus while shields are down. They could have like a Flare of Denial, but that's okay because I have backup Unearth effect. Yeah, sure. I just have this Oculus on board that's going kind of crazy. Yeah. Well, nice to see that the bait with the fetch plan paid off. That was kind of a cool line to get to show off. But anyway, 3-0. We'll catch you back for round number 4. Round numero 4. We're on the play. Another little awkward mana hand, but I feel like this hand or this deck mulligans okay. Keep this, throw back an Oculus. Devourer of Destiny. I doubt I'm gonna consign anything on turn 1, but I feel like I should at least give myself the option to. We are a 4-main deck, consigned deck, and then I've got Harbingers, Extra Force Negation, and some Fulminators out of the sideboard and Damping Sphere. So we got a decent bit of cards for the Eldrazi matchup. All right. I was gonna say if opponent put like an expedition map on the stack, I would definitely counter it. They just have Natty Tron. Devoured away a power plant. Chalice of the Void. Sure. Need blue mana to frog. All right, opponent, be nice to me. It's not Natty Tron. All right, let's start discarding some. Do I want to discard the Oculus? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to attack in with the frog and not discard anything. So I can try to have like force a negation, pitch Oculus up in case they go for something I can't consign. 3, 4, 5, 6. Like so. Getting the blue source here is nice. I want to be able to consign with 3 mana available so that I can have 1 for the cast trigger of the spell that they put on the stack, 1 for the spell itself, and 1 to the original to get countered by the Mind Stone. So if this is like Devourer, then I've got to replicate twice to be able to hit everything. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s. They have Devourer mana. Sire of 7 Deaths. Sure. Obviously not ideal, but kind of like have to save this consign for the Devourer that I know about. All right. Now they're gonna get to have the Devourer, but I'll exile the cast trigger. Yep. They probably are well aware that I've got a main deck consign here. Going for this Sire instead of the Devourer game one, I think it's kind of like a big tell. All right, so I want to replicate. We're going to let them counter the copy. We'll hit the cast trigger. Jump the frog. So if they want to block the Sire, that's. If they want to block the frog, that's fine. Just flip this up and pass. Double chump block the Sire. Then double block the Devourer with the 2 Oculus. Chalice checking themselves. I like it. Very, very heads up. All right. Well, so might as well just exile everything. Like, they're going to take the Force of Negation, right? Maybe I shouldn't. Yep. As expected. No attack. That is super surprising because now your Sire of 7 Deaths is locked into jumping the frog. I kind of feel like they should have attacked that turn. Like, yeah, I get to get the Devourer off the board, but they gain 7. I have to give up both of my manifest tokens. It's like I can't block the Sire. The only way to kill it would be to put everything on it. In which case I just die to the Devourer. If I had another consigned memory, I could. What happens if I attack Frog, Oculus, Oculus? You're at 17. 9, 10, 11. I think this is cast Quantum Riddler. See what I draw into. I can't attack double Oculus, right? Because they just go down to 1. Frog's up to an 11. What if I attack everything? Jump Frog, attack with the entire squad. If they block Oculus, Frog gets in for 11, and one of these is getting through. So that's lethal. So yeah, I can attack with everything. Nope. Oh no, I miscounted. Oh my god, that was such a punt. I thought I had one more manifest getting through. Oh my god, that was a punt. I was so convinced that it was like Oculus and one manifest was getting through. Yeah, so it's just attack with the frog. Well, it's a good thing nobody on the internet saw that, right? That was so bad. That was so bad. Oh man, this is why you don't play leagues late at night. I was just like so convinced that the frog was going to get through, which was 11. One of the Oculuses was going to get through, which is 5 for 16. They were going to block an Oculus, go to 17. And then for whatever reason, I was like, oh, I got 3 more attackers. And I think I was just not taking into account the summoning sickness on the Riddler. It was like, oh, I got 3 bodies. They've got 2 extra blockers. Yeah, easy. GG's. Played myself. But it's okay. You live and you learn. What am I boarding out here? Could like go down a Quantum Riddler, go down a Casey Jones, because I'd just rather unearth like Harbinger Fulminator Mage. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hit the map because I do just have turn 3 Fulminator Mage. So I'm okay being kind of aggressive about taking out mana sources. We can get a Thundering Falls here to make sure that I've got double red in case I hit a Casey off the top. I don't think you got a 0 drop in here. So now this is what, Steam Vents. Get our Fulminator down. Still need some like actual pressure, but yep. That's pretty good. Nothing to imprint. Trinisphere would suck. Kozilek's Command's kind of fine. Just pass back. I really don't want to go card negative on this Faithless looting right now. Devourer. Go ahead and convert this. They have the Karn. Sure. Unearth would be a pretty sick hit. It's not an Unearth. That works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oculus. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not registering like any of my clicks over here. There we go. All right, opponent, be nice and do not have a copy of Kozilek's Command right here. And then Oculus, be nice and flip me a Harbinger. The Frog is pretty good, so I won't complain about that one. Another Expedition map is fine. Chalice on 1 is fine. Not gonna burn a consigned memory on that. All right. Land is actually pretty okay too, because now I can flip up this Frog and have kick consign or replicated consign through the Chalice. Yep. Assume this is just an Eldrazi temple. I'm good at this. Just get a Casey Jones. That's pretty hot. Might like block and flip up and trade with the Thought Knot. Don't hate that. And like they got to know that if I put a Frog in the yard, this manifest has got to be pretty good, right? Surveil here to try to hit something good. Yeah, that's reasonable. Take out a Thought Knot Seer. Or some big Eldrazi that sneaks through. Carry on. Feel pretty decent about my board position here. Nice. So get to go to game 3. Are there any considerations I want to make based off of what I've seen? Like maybe I want to bring in Meltdown. I kind of don't hate bringing in a Meltdown over like an Unearth, because of all these Chalice of the Voids. Like Meltdown can also hit the Mind Stones and Chalices and stuff like that. It's not so great against a turn 2 Expedition map, but I don't really hate it for these Chalices. All right, pretty good hand. I'm a sucker for a good Thoughtseize into Frog hand. Opponent kept 7. Sire of 7 Deaths, Devourer, Swamp. Does that tell me anything that I should be aware of? Double Ugin, double Thought Knot Seer. I'm going to be greedy and go after the Thought Knot. Opponent kept a card on top. Yeah, so they're going to have a Thought Knot here. I get to follow up with a Frog, and we just see where things go from there. See whether opponent rips lands or we rip consigns. I guess I want... Yeah, I need to get Steam Vents. It's a little bit awkward. I need the double blue in case I hit Harbinger off of this Oculus. Which, if opponent attacks in, I'm 100% like block, triple discard. Oh, that's good. That's annoyingly good. Yep. That is annoyingly good. But I do have Meltdown in the deck. Does that mean that this is a Casey Jones turn and not an Oculus turn? Probably. Discard Casey, unearth it to try to hit Consign to Memory. Which we do. All right, so we can take out Karn. Discard what? So they're Frog. I guess we can just discard the Oculus. Like, I'm not hard casting that anyway. So And I'm going to play out the Blood Crypt here, because if opponent does something like not cast the Ensnaring Bridge, then I want to be able to Bitter Triumph the Thought-Knot Seer. But they do cast the Ensnaring Bridge, and Casey Jones looked cracked right there. That was sick. Oh, man. That was super cool. Really fun little match there against Tron. Hopefully round 5 isn't also against Tron, but I'm digging the way this deck's feeling so far. It's got some exciting stuff going for it. So I'll catch you back for round number 5. Round number 5. We are on the play against Damian Despacito, which more than likely means some form of either Boros or actual factual burn. I think I'll give this a shot. It's a little bit slow, but I've got some good stuff. Got a lot of good setup. I do have a piece or a couple pieces kind of interaction. It is actual factual burn. So if we can find Quantum Riddler for this persist, or if we can find Quantum Riddler. I would like to save a little bit of life if possible. See what you got going on. Chandra's Incinerator. They do just have a lot of cheap stuff. Like, I want to take the Incinerator. I'm a little bit afraid of just giving them double bolt into this Quantum Riddler. Let's take a bolt. If opponent misses on their second land drop right here, I feel not fantastic, but like okay-ish. I will fetch up Basic Swamp because I don't want to accidentally draw it off the Goblin Guide. Oh, wait, I can't get Basic Swamp because I have to consign this Quantum Riddler. All right. We're definitely going the consign Riddler route. It's going to cost me a bunch of life, but if we are somehow able to win this game 1, I'll be very, very surprised. But at the same time, weirder stuff has happened. If we can dodge Eidolon this turn and maybe get Casey Jones on the battlefield, I feel a little bit better. Looks like we're going to get to do. Oh, wait, no. Persist can't get Casey Jones. That's fine. We have Riddler. Let's go Faithless Looting, Casey Jones, Riddler, Persist Riddler. We do have to attack at some point, but I don't think this is the right turn for it. I kind of want to just keep deploying threats while they're deploying threats and kind of stuck. And then try to set up a point where I can overwhelm them like in one turn. Like maybe if I go upkeep, discard, bitter triumph, and then Casey Jones, is there a chance I've got lethal? Lava Spike's fine. Discard, bitter triumph into turn. Okay. I think we've got lethal here. So this is 7, 8, 9, 10 if I discard a land. So 10. I play land, play Casey Jones. This is draw 5. 3 for the Casey Jones, 2 more for the Riddlers. And then unearth the second Casey Jones and draw 5 more. Oh, this is gross. This is gross. Discard. And now with the double unearth, I can just unearth Casey Jones and then have unearth legendary rule one of the Casey Jones, unearth the second one. Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, man. Oh, this is the most gross thing I've done this year. We're going to unearth this other Casey Jones. Oh. Fly the frog. Exile, exile. This is 4, 7, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. Here's us going to combat for 23 in the air. Oh, we're getting a screenshot of this one. That was absolutely filthy. All right, game number 2, playing for the trophy. We got Force Negation in. We got Graveyard Trespasser in. I don't think I want Fire Magics, nor do I think I want Meltdowns. I think I just want to like cut a couple Thoughtseize and try to run it back. Let's see, Fire Magic is 3 to deal 2 damage. Maybe it's not the worst to have in. I actually think Mystical Dispute just as like bad mana leak could be better than Thoughtseize, but I'm going to trust my gut and just like minimally sideboard. Try to find a hand with like Force and Negation Frog on the draw or something. If I had guaranteed second land, or if this were a red source, I would keep this, but too many questions without a guaranteed red source. And I have to keep in mind that there is Chandra's Incinerator deck. So I might have to be a little more aggressive than normal on things like firing off this Force Negation just to stop them from having an Incinerator. ahead. Is there any world where I can sign the suspend trigger off this? Is that crazy? I feel like that's not that crazy. Like getting to convert consign into an actual counter spell and stop an incinerator from coming down this turn. Yep, got a lava spike. Blue card. Would love to see a blue card there, but is what it is. It's the kind of matchup that Psychic Frog can absolutely solo if opponent's not careful. If I can like strand an incinerator in hand. All right, this is good for the home team. Attack in. Go ahead and discard Oculus. Really wanted another blue card. Like, I'm not going to turn away from Unearthing Oculus, but my face, sure. I'll pass back. I've got Cycle Unearth to try to hit a blue card if I absolutely have to, but I would prefer to just get a Thundering Falls off of this to try to like make sure I hit a blue card next turn. Opponent is also, I guess, not quite staring down lethal. I want a fatal push. Don't think I do. I think it's really like blue card or bust. And I don't think I'm flipping up Oculus here. I think that I'm just taking my 9 damage, passing back to their turn, trying to make them have like 4 removal spells or 4 burn spells in a row, and I've got one of them covered. Do I want a Faithless Looting? No. Nope. Stick to the plan. Keep up the discards for Frog. I've got a Manifest token to stand in the way of a Incinerator on their turn. I've got multiple face down Oculuses now with Force Negation up. Let's go. The trophy in the very first Grixis Reanimator League with Casey Jones. Absolutely love to see it. Super cool, fun deck. So the inspiration for this deck, if you missed the intro, came from a list that Noe showed me that Jerry Thompson had originally posted, which was on like 4 Casey Jones and Unholy Heats, Mishra's Bauble, stuff like that. and I just kind of adjusted some of the points to fit me a little bit better, stuff that I enjoy playing or I feel comfortable with playing. Uh, Thankfully, it seems to have worked out pretty well. As far as changes I would make to the list going forward, the mana is definitely a little wonky. I added the 3 basics so that I could both play with Flood Moon, with Harbinger of the Seas. Uh, so having the basic mountain and the basic swamp, and play through opposing Blood Moons with the basic island. And it can be a trick for like hard casting Casey Jones. The mana is definitely a little painful for that. But when you've got unearths and persistent stuff, you could cheat around that a little bit and still be okay. The sideboard I was pretty happy with. I think all the cards we had access to were relevant. The only thing we didn't bring in were the Fire Magics and the Kaito, but we didn't see Boros and we didn't see Jeskai Blink. And those are like the 2 matchups I want those 2 cards for. The main deck, I liked having the Persist a lot. I was really debating just going the 4 Unearth. Decided to add the Persist to have a 5th copy effectively of Unearth for Oculus, but can also get back Quantum Riddler. Yes, it can't get back Casey Jones, but you do already have the 4 Unearths. Faithless Looting felt pretty good. The main deck consigns were really good. Overall, I'm a fan. I'm looking forward to streaming this deck a little bit and kind of seeing how it goes. I think the backup plan is really, really good, which is something I always look for out of a Reanimator deck. Because if your graveyard's taken out of play, what can the deck do otherwise? And I think being like a Casey Jones, Quantum Riddler, Consign, Blink deck is pretty good when you're cutting heavily on Oculus and Unearth. Plus you have like Psychic Frog, Thoughtseize, Force Negation, all that. So yeah, I'm down for it. Appreciate y'all coming around and checking out the video. As always, if you want to come talk about it more, I have links down below to the Discord, to all of our partner programs, all that fun stuff, the deck list. Come hang out. Love to talk to you. Anyway, hope to catch you in the next video. Adios for now.